to Instagram once we go live.
Hey! Couché!
I see Mama Shay.
I'm the king of rock, there ain't none higher. Sucker MCs, you gon' be higher. Come on, my kingdom, you must see fire. I won't stop rocking till I retire.
Like a dog without a bone, an actor out alone. Riders on the storm.
Wow.
And the music was good and the music was loud.
So now we go back, and you click that. Remember that's like go live, go back to Instagram.
Yes, I just did. I just did.
Yeah. Now. Woo! So are we live on TikTok too?
Let me see.
We want everybody to know about this topic right here. This is some serious stuff. All you animal lovers.
TikTok is different, man. It's just too
So
much stuff going on.
take your
here
phone. Take your phone and just put your phone against the screen.
on Studio. Give me 1 second. How do I freaking close this shit? It's gonna freaking X out of it.
Woo! We in this thing. Man, I wish I could do my hair like that, man.
Oh, mine?
I wish I could do mine like that. I mean, like literally, I wish I could grow hair now, you know.
All right, I just exit out of TikTok. All right, people watching. Jeff, my friend from Panama. Thanks, man. Thanks. All right. So you were saying
you're on TikTok live now?
No. I'm gonna do the phone thing.
Okay, let me do it too.
And then what you can do is just like join me.
Okay. Now I got mine right here ready. Let me know.
Yeah.
So let me see how I can. So I go TRK and I ask to join. Damn, I'm getting old, man. Okay, so do I click? How do I go live with you on TikTok? So I'm there. Oh, here we go. So how do I ask to join? Oh, accept. Ha!
Now you should be there. Here's the thing that we're gonna run into.
The feedback.
Feedback.
Let me turn it down. So you got to turn yours down. I turn mine down. How's that?
Yes. Much better. Much better.
So how do I save? How do I show my? Oh, here we go. So did you accept me?
Yes, you're there, bro. I'm watching you right now. So we're pretty much live everywhere right now. YouTube, TikTok, Instagram, and of course here. You know. So again, Whoever is listening, whoever's tuned in, there are a lot of things. So if you missed out, please make sure you write your comments, your question in the wherever platform you're in, and we're going to try to address that and answer that as soon as possible. Gerald is in charge of all the questions, so he's gonna make sure that we address the questions. But so we're here to talk about this stuff and mainly like educational purposes with everyone that follow us and that don't follow us, especially on TikTok and YouTube right now. Also, people are listening and watching. We're gonna talk about valley fever, right? Valley fever is something that is very small, but it can get big real quick, real fast, if you don't know what you're doing, if you don't know how to recognize it, if you don't know what to look for, right? So it starts from, so what is valley fever? Valley fever is just a fungal disease. Of course, it runs in humans also. It runs in animals. We're here not addressing humans. We're not addressing anything else but dogs, right? We're talking about dogs. We're dog people. There are people I know personally that have lost their dogs due to valley fever, and it's very, very important to know what to do and what to look for, right? The valley fever is it's mainly in this I would say southwest region that we're in. It's very common, and you can have any dog can inhale the spores and go through their nose and then affect any part of their body, any function of their body that you just don't know. And you can, it can, I'll tell you how I got how I was introduced to valley fever to 2022. One of my dog, everybody knows him, Gonzo, right? He was a young dog back in 2022. He's 3.5 right now. But one of his testicles was swollen. It was swollen, like enlarged so much, and I'm like, shit, what's going on? Like, and of course that was unusual thing. And we looked into it. I thought that it was a spider bite, bug bite, or something like that. Thankfully, our vet, we ran all sort of blood tests and stuff, and we found out that he had one of the highest titers in valley fever that comes like 1 to 62. And he was like, but he was acting normal. He was being himself and whatnot. But so what happens is like we put him on antifungal fluconazole, which was 1,000 milligram per day. He was taking 1,000 milligram per day, and he was on fluconazole for 2 years, a little over 2 years, and we just took him off early this year, and he's doing good now, thankfully. But that's just one incident, and it's very easy, very, very easy to ignore the fact, ignore the. Just you gotta ask to invite.
Okay. How do I do that?
Hang on a minute.
And I'm gonna do a major introduction for you.
Yeah. So anyway, so then he was fixed. The one of the main thing that again we almost lost a dog this last 2 weeks, and last 3 weeks, I would say it's been very, very extremely hard. And I'm glad that we're still here. The dog is still here, and she's one of the toughest dog. And I talked to surgeon, and surgeon was like, even she has never seen a dog that strong like one of my dog, female. She's super strong. She had a major surgery. She got hit by valley fever. was being herself. Nothing was wrong with her. But what happened is, like we saw, I was cleaning the kennel and I saw her belly was enlarged. When her belly was enlarged, and we were sitting around, I was like, shit, this is not right. So we took her to the vet, and I was thinking it was just a bloat, right? And we're gonna quickly fix it, and we're gonna take her home. But upon checking, her whole body was filled with fluid. It was fluid everywhere. I'm talking about the whole abdomen was with fluid. The fluid was around the heart. I don't know how she was standing. I don't know how she was just still being herself, happy dog. But again, we put her in emergency. They tapped her, they drained the fluid around the heart. Everything went good. Put her on a steroid, put her on fluconazole. And, you know, we were like, okay, cool. Whatever it was, it's in the past. We caught it, and we're hitting it with fluconazole. Now, fast forward, the valley fever got relapsed. And when it came back even harder. So it attacked the pericardium around the heart. And that was just so crazy that she was going towards a heart failure. Even though we did the emergency echocardiogram, a lot of money, you know, and doctor was like, her heart is very strong, it's fine, and that there's nothing wrong structurally, nothing wrong functionality wise, but it's just around the heart. The heart don't have enough room to beat blood, and that's why the dog was gonna get heart failure. Anyways, we did the fast forward. There's more details to it. I'm gonna do another video on you know, for YouTube, and to make people understand what we went through. So, and not everyone is going to be able to afford it, right? We were fortunate enough to afford it, and I'm sure there are a lot of people can still afford it for their pets, for their dogs, but not everybody, right? 3 weeks of period, we're over $14,000 in on that dog. Over $14,000. That's no joke, right? That's a big amount. I wasn't gonna let that dog go just like that, just because of the money. But fortunately, the surgery was successful, and we were able to save her. She's just gonna recover, and then there are more details to come on that. But just know the signs. If you know your dog and your dog is not acting the way it should be, it has been, that's concerning. That's concerning. A lot of dogs, they don't get sick, means they're, what's the word? They're asymptomatic. You know, they're asymptomatic. They don't really focus on that. Okay, cool. They're gonna be sick, or they're gonna not eat, or they're gonna just be lethargic. A lot of dogs don't do it. They just don't do it. And by the time you go and figure out, you take the dog to the vet, it's too fucking late.
Yeah. So let me unplug this. Hold on, because I don't like headsets that much, man. Golly.
Me neither.
So first of all, people, hey, Syed, I want to introduce you formally. This is Syed from TRK Kennels, based out of the suburban area of Phoenix, Arizona. He's been doing right. He's been doing a hell of a job. And I want to say, man, it was a pleasure to have to been on your ranch during the time that I was invited to actually kick it with you and see how you rock. You know what I'm saying? And to me, I get a joy when I see people putting their money where their mouth is. They're not just sticking two dogs together to make a buck, but they're building a foundation, which is a lot of money up front for return for later on down the line. So you have to believe in your dream. You know? But today, people, we're going to talk about something that's very, very prevalent in the state of Nevada and Arizona. most of these hot desert areas, there's a thing going on that I knew nothing about until Syed told me about it. It's called valley fever. And there is some information out there, people. Syed had 2 dogs that recently have been treated for valley fever. Those
Not
2
treated.
dogs are still with us.
They're not treated. They're just put on because treatment takes years
Yes.
or a year, 1 year too longer. So they were caught and they were put on medication.
Right. Now, the research that I've been doing since you told me about this is all online by listening to veterinarians talk. And they've told me that, you know, it's in the dirt. It's a fungal that's in the dirt. If you're in Arizona, there's a thing called the monsoons. Was it Arizona or Nevada that has those monsoon winds? Arizona. Yeah.
Not necessarily monsoon. It can also be airborne with where a lot of construction going on.
Yes,
you know
yes.
what I mean? Yeah.
So the vets that I've got online have stated, they said the only way to avoid valley fever is that you can't avoid it because it's in the dirt, it's in the grass,
Yeah.
right? And when the grass is disturbed or the ground is disturbed, it can be airborne. And I didn't realize that these symptoms, man, are almost similar to a dog that may have cancer. Like,
I know. Check your TikTok. I just sent you an invitation.
okay. Send me an invite again. Lewis, join. I don't know how to do this. Let me see.
All right, check now.
It popped up. Invitation canceled. You canceled me.
No, dude. Fucking A.
Hold on. Let me try it again. Go out. Go back in. Accept. Join. Ah. Now let me get my face on there. Camera on. Great. So, people, sorry for the technical difficulties. We working this out, but we're trying to get the message out. So, I want to get back to your kennel. So, Syed is known for producing quality, not quantity, European Rottweilers with lineage and history. But recently, as we've been talking about this show and making it come to fruition, after I've been out to his beautiful ranch, met his beautiful wife, that we've been talking about, he's been very limited with the conversation that we've been having. I'll be texting Syed, and it's fucking 2 hours, 3 hours to return my text and said, dude, you treat me like an ex-girlfriend. And he's like, man, I'm in the hospital. I said, what happened? You're telling me your dog's there. So, people, this valley fever thing is real. Syed's going to talk more about it in regards to the symptoms, but the symptoms are very similar to other dog illnesses. And you have to go to the vet if your dog is showing any of these symptoms that we're going to talk about. And please understand, the vets would tell you the visit can go from hundreds of dollars to thousands of dollars quick. So if you love your pet, money is not the real issue, because the dogs give you something that money can't buy in return. So tell me about, man, the type of symptoms you had with the other dog that you caught it early. What was the symptom? Because I hear a lot of symptoms like coughing, swollen around the eyes, coughing a lot, and just limping, all kind of shit, man. That really, it could be anything unless they do blood work. They say you got to get an X-ray.
Yep. And you know what? Any symptoms that are listed on Google or generic things, none of those symptoms were there, right? It was just different. You just have to, of course, our experience helped from the previous incidents. So we knew what we were looking for and what it looks like. Recently, 2 dogs, both females, both breeding females, got attacked by this.
Yep.
And then now what happens is like they're out of commission, which is fine, because that's just part of being breeder. That
right.
When you don't have any breeding's happening, the dogs still gotta eat, they still gotta live, they still gotta do all those things. On top of that, back to your point, like how I knew. So one of the female, she is full of energy. Like you let her out, Gerald. You've seen my my property. She comes out of her kennel and she just books it, and next thing you know, in 2 seconds, she's at the corner.
Right.
You know, and she just ran out. She still ran, but I didn't see that fire in her. That was that morning, and I'm like, I don't know, maybe she's about to go and eat and whatnot, this and that. So gave her food. She was a little slow, but she finished her breakfast. The same day, in the evening, like late afternoon, I went there again because that's a process. Two times those dogs gotta go out and that's when I let her out. She was slow, but also she didn't finish her food.
Which is uncharacteristic.
Yeah, and I'm like, okay, there's something wrong. So when I was done with the dogs, I let her out, and her and I were sitting outside the kennel, and I was like, okay, and she's just, I can see her glassy, her eyes were like little extra glassy that I didn't like. And a second thing, when I touched her inner thigh to check her pulse, that if God forbid something happening, she felt warm, like little extra warm. And that's when it just triggers in my mind. I'm like, oh shit, that's a valley fever. And that's where I left her over there, came inside in the house, grabbed the thermometer, checked her temp, and guess what? She was sitting at 104 temperature.
Wow.
104. That's a high temp. You got to get to the vet at that point, no matter what, because it could be any sort of infection, anything. At 106 and up, their organs starts to fail in dogs.
Yeah. So what did you do when you checked her temperature? Did you put like water on her to cool her down? Because dogs don't sweat. So what did you do until you got to the vet? How did you?
So at that point, I just sat her down so she doesn't like run, because my thinking was like she has valley fever, so she doesn't have a normal fever. The cold water and cold this and that is not going to help her.
Okay.
Right? Because I just knew, I was like, that's what it is. So I got on the phone with the vet, and it was literally 5 o'clock, so everything is just closing, right? So had to go to ER, and apparently this I'm super happy with how the ER is working here in Santan Valley, Arise in Queen Creek. Got there. They have, because normal vets don't have PCR test, like an instant positive, negative, right? The titers takes 4 to 5 business days to find out. And in those, so when we got to the ER, I talked to them. Of course, ER gives you the estimate of like, thousands of thousands that, hey, we're going to
leave a credit card on file.
We're going to do this and that. And at that point, I told them, I'm like, okay, I can agree to all those things, but the first thing I want you to do is this valley fever test. So once you do that, if that's negative, then we move on to the next one. But until then, we're doing that because it's valley fever. So left her there. They did the test. They drew blood and stuff. And then, of course, it was going to take like about an hour 45 minutes. The doctor said that, hey, you can go. And then, unless you want to wait here. So we left. And again, as I expected, 2 hours later, doctor got a called me. Doctor called me, and I got a call. And then, and exactly his words that, hey, Syed, you were right. And I am, the way the symptoms are, the way her test results came out, I feel very comfortable putting her on, treating her for valley fever. So she has.
So that's the key word for me. What I learned about valley fever, valley fever is real. You can't touch it, you can't smell it, and it's almost unavoidable, right? Mm-hmm. What I learned about valley fever less than 24 hours ago by doing my research, because by now you're an expert at this because you've had so much stuff goes on. Your light turned off? Oh, yeah, there we go. So by now, I realize that valley fever, people, is not curable. It's treatable. So that means that your dog will always have some of the traits, but they just might not be active. You know what I'm saying? Like you can suppress the traits where they're like not significant or no kind of no kind of effects on the dog at all, but it's treatable. And depending on the severity, the treatment may go on for a few months. So my question to you is, when the dog is being, let's say, okay, your girl right now is being treated. Let's say she comes in heat next month or next 2 months. Are we skipping that heat cycle? Because I heard valley fever cannot be transferred to another dog.
No.
Right.
No, but so great question. So I had this question and just had this discussion with cardiologist also not that long ago with in our case. So our female, she was on our plan, of course, now at this point, to be bred in coming January, February. She's gonna come in heat. The way it works is like if I'm just a piece of shit, I can still breed her, right? But I care about the dogs more than I care about humans, and so we're gonna skip her this cycle or this whole year till 2025, and we're gonna have to keep rechecking her every 3 months, then 6 months, and see where she's trending, and then we're expecting her to be back to normal next year. Until then, she will not be bred here with us because her body is fighting a virus. And yes, it's not contagious, but you just don't know how it could affect the pups. And we don't know, and I personally don't want to know. It's just simple as that. I just don't want to know. So that's something we changed our program, our plan, that both of these females are now out of commission. They're not going to be bred there the whole year, and we will recheck and we will see maybe 2026 sometime, early 2026 bred. But until then, we're not breeding because we have other females that were in line. They just moved up in the line.
Yeah, these people are asking you on TikTok how much are the puppies. They're asking on TikTok. They're asking you, somebody in Illinois saying, "How much are the puppies? Where are you from?" Syed is out of Arizona.
We're in Arizona. I don't sell puppies on live videos or anywhere on social media like that. Anybody wants it, you gotta go fill out the application and
they gotta email you
on our website. We just don't.
So my question is, because everybody has a financial threshold, right? I remember but see, your dog was treatable. I remember when Alonzo, my first red Dobie from Hungary that I imported, I had him for almost 10 years, and he suddenly had kidney failure. And so I had to put him on this high protein diet, right, to make him sustainable. But he was still dropping weight. And my question is, at a certain point, the quality of life of the dog is not the same. But the other point is like, how much are we willing to spend to keep the dog to live, even though the dog cannot no longer produce or contribute to a kennel in a financial aspect? At any point, or is there a threshold? You ain't got to say the dollar amount, but there's a threshold at any point that the vet tell you we might have to put her down or consider it, or you was like, whatever it costs, I want her back in my kennel. I'm not worried about the puppy breeding. That's second. I'm a love of the breed first. I love my dog first. But did you ever think about financially, there's a threshold. Did that come across your mind in the past 10 days during the treatment process?
No. All our vets, or the owner of the hospital, all the surgeons, They know me by name. They know Kennel by name. You can ask any doctor at the hospital here, and they will tell you, and they'll tell you the love I have and we have for our dogs. It's so there was no limit. There is no me. I will never tell a doctor to put my dog down because I can't fucking pay the bill. No.
Or remember I said, or the quality of living for the dog. Will the dog be able to maneuver and enjoy the life that he or she had? Like she may have to walk with a limp. I'm just saying that's one of the symptoms. I mean,
so that's a symptom. Like limp is something else. That's when the fever gets, the valley fever gets in the bones. That's a different extreme, right? That could happen. But in our case, first of all, in my case, there is no way I'm telling doctor to put my dog down. No, I'm just, that's just not going to happen. Right?
Yeah.
As long as dog's able to eat and drink on her own, on his own, dude, the dog's fine. Dog's fine. As long as you're not doing the tube feeding, the dog's fine. That's just me. Now, a lot of people will tell you, and I'm sure on this video, on this, when later on they watch or whatnot, or right now, they'll be like, oh, no, you gotta take care of the vet. Dude, you go ahead and fucking do that. Not me. You can't tell me until or unless you're fucking paying my bills. So last check, I pay for my dogs. I pay my, food bill and stuff. So you can't freaking tell me. As long as where I stand and the way I work with dogs, dude, this dog is very, very special to me. But even other than that, I had an incident last year. That dog ended up staying for a spider bite. She ended up going in ICU for 5 days, over $16,000, right? No insurance. It's all out of pocket.
That insurance, on a lighter note, that insurance is bullshit, man. I was telling my wife, I'm gonna get that Banfield shit, because you know how long it takes to get it approved, and there's certain things they don't pay for broken legs, and
and then that dog's still here.
Yeah,
I haven't bred her. She's still here. She's still healthy. She's eating and everything. She went septic, bro. She went septic on us, and we could have put her down. And that was one of the options that doctor gave us. That, hey, either we put her down, right, and she's just asleep, or we try and save her, but in the trying, it's a 50-50 because she may not make it. This was the doctor's words that she may not make it till morning. But here's the deal. Here's the bill. Swipe my card. And then she made one day. She made it to one day. Then she made it another day. Then she made it another day. She kept fighting. So I ended up paying over 16 grand. But then had I put her down, then she's still here. She's one of the solid female. Yes, we still haven't, we yet to breed her. But I am at least able to sleep at night and then have that peace of mind that I did not give up.
Yeah.
On my dogs.
What's interesting is I have an affinity for dogs. I'll be honest with you. They've been more loyal to me than any female, than any parent, than any relative, any brother, and it was surely organic. Like I earned this bond, this unbreakable bond. And there's only been 2 situations where I had to put a dog down. One of them I didn't mind putting down. When I put down my boy Alonzo, who actually got me out of depression, when I was going through a divorce, when I was going through bankruptcy, foreclosure, This is like 2011 or 2010.
Mhm.
And it was hard for me to put him down because he'd been with me through the thick and the thin, right?
Mhm.
And so that was a hard one. I mean, if there's any dog that I will put a tattoo on my body other than my son's name, I would definitely put his name on it or a picture of his face because he changed my life, right? Like, not that many animals that you have will change your life because you got so
Yeah.
many, you know what I'm saying? But he changed my life. But I would say the other one that I put down was named Bo, which I rescued him at a year and a half age. He was a dog that I produced, and he had a screw loose, man. Like when I rescued him from the previous owner who said I can't take care of him no more because I'm traveling. I'm a union labor electrician. Dude, I just saw you in Vegas kicking it, man. Right? No big deal. So I took him and we bonded. But dude, the dog attacked me while I'm feeding him.
Oh wow.
Yeah, and I'm like, dude, you don't literally bite the hand that feeds you. That's a figure of speech.
Yeah.
But the motherfucker bit me in the hand and then he bit me in the back. He's attacked me a couple of times. So he was too shaky. I mean, one day he's real cool, ready to work and loves you. And then within a matter of a minute, bro, he snaps. Like, so I was like, I can't have that around my son. I can't have it around my family because they're not good with dogs like I am, obviously. To them, my dogs, that's mama. I get to do what I want to. To me, they know I get their ass, right? So it's a different dynamic. But that Valley Fever, man, when I read about it, bro, and they said that shit is like, it's becoming a common thing in Arizona and Nevada. What are breeders doing now? Well, in your area, in your state that because I'm sure you talk to other breeders of other breeds. What are you guys doing to be preventative? Because you've gotten rid of the dirt on your grass, right? But you got artificial grass, but then it still can travel through the air. So what are you doing? Spraying it with fucking bleach? I mean, what?
There's nothing you can do to prevent it, right? We're in Arizona. A lot of construction going on, a lot of new development coming up. They're digging the freaking shit out of the land every day, and the spores are all in the air. Then they come and then they just settle down somewhere, and the dogs are sniffing, and then it's transmitted that way. As a prevention, what we plan to do here in TRK, at TRK, is we're gonna start testing our dogs. Yes, it'll cost us money, right? So we're gonna, like, we do heartworm prevention, right? We do heartworm prevention. We do Pro Heart shots. We're not doing monthly thing. We're doing a yearly thing. So when we do that, we gotta do an IDEXX, the 4DX test on the dog, blood test. So while we're doing that, we might as well do the test for Valley Fever also. So when we do Valley Fever, now it's just an additional expense that I am willing to take, that, hey, every 6 months, I wanna, there'll be like $1,500, $2,000, because we don't have one dog, right? There's like 12, 13 Rottweilers here. But at least it'll give us peace of mind. One thing. Second thing, if God forbid they get it, they test positive for it, at least we would know before it gets bad. And we can contain it. We can attack it with steroids, with antifungal, and a lot of things happen there. I just found out recently, 2 weeks ago, that there are different antifungal because some dogs don't respond to fluconazole. Like my female, the one who went through surgery, she didn't respond well to, her body didn't respond to antifungal. So they had to change the medicine, the formula. They had to change the dose, everything after 2 weeks, because at 2 weeks mark, she relapsed. And then her condition was so bad that we can't physically see because it was around her heart, pericardium. So I don't want to use a lot of medical terminologies because people won't understand. But anyway, so that would be the prevention, in my opinion, if I want to suggest things that, hey, get your dog's titers checked.
Titers?
Titers. Yeah, Titers. Titers.
T-I-T-E-R or T-I-T-T? I want to put it up on the board.
Titers. Titers. Checked, and you want them from 1 to 0 or 1 to negative. Means your dog is good. What it checks, it's like it's AB positive, means antibody positive, like presence. That's what it means. And you don't want presence, you want negative or just low, and that's what you want. Our dogs are right now, the recent ones, they're at 1 to 16. The one went through surgery, and the one I caught earlier, she is at. I actually got a call today. She's at 1 to 8. So you just go to your vet and ask them that, hey, check my dog for valley fever. Simple as that. Just
so
check my dog.
Do you recommend for a guy like me in Southern California, what other tests other than the Embark or the hips and elbows, the thyroids, what else could we be preventative and get tested on for dogs that are here in Southern California? What do you recommend?
Breed wise, or you just talking about as a well-being?
That's for Rottweilers. For
Rottweilers, so we go basic hips, elbows, GLPP, right? That's a minimum requirement. Then you go to Embark or UC Davis, whichever panel you want to go. It's tit for tat. It's just the same shit. You can do that. Second thing, what I do on my dogs, I do dentition. I do eyes, because a lot of dogs, Rottweilers, they tend to develop like entropion. If it's a lot of loose skin, that's why I'm always telling people that, hey, freaking do your research, get cleaner dogs, because the loose skin, it causes entropion around the eye. You don't want that. And then heart. Make sure you get the heart test tested and certified. And just these are the ones. So hips, elbows, GLPP, and then gene panel and dentition, eyes, and heart.
Yeah. My boy Gunner over there is my favorite boy over there. You know that, right? So how's Gunner doing? I'm a little
good, man. Yeah, Gunner. We bred Gunner with Gianna 2 weeks ago, and I'm staying positive. I'm feeling pretty good, but we won't know until I can kind of do blood test next week to find out if she's pregnant or not, but it'll be a false positive because her estrogen levels are high right now. And then it won't be like concrete, but we'll do a what do you call it? Like ultrasound mid-January to get the confirmation, and we'll know if Gunner is going to be father or not. I had another breeding request for Gunner, which I said no to last week or so, because Gunner is not for everybody.
Right.
Yeah. He's a very, very smart boy.
What's on the horizon for 2025 that you didn't do in 2024? Give the people something that, this is what's going to happen in 2025. What's different? What are you changing or adding or doing different with your kennel?
So great question. So 2025, I have a whole already planned. Again, sudden incident, recent incidents in our kennel, the valley fever attack and all that stuff, it kind of changed something, but it didn't change the whole plan. But we're right now planning 2026. So 2025 is already wrapped for us.
It's a wrap.
Yeah, it's a wrap for us already. People, that's why I always tell people that, hey, you don't get on the list, you're not getting a pup from us. And then one of our clients, And I appreciate everyone's patience with us. One of our clients picked up their puppy last night. They waited for a year, 1 year. They want to tell us, So anyway, so back to your question, bro. For 2025, what we're trying to do is like every litter, we're trying to produce healthier and healthier dogs, right? How can we do that? Just by being cautious on that. First of all, doing all the right, take all necessary steps and make sure we're doing all the health testing done. Specifically, what I'm trying to do in 2025, the breedings that are planned is they're not just any breedings, that the dogs aren't just because I like the look. The dogs aren't just because my buddy liked the look. I am focused on proven producers. When I say
I just talked about that the other day. Proven.
Exactly. Yes. So when I say proven producer, it's very, 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 very important to go with proven producers, because you already know what they're producing, not just a phenotype, but also a genotype. Genetically, you didn't need to be proven that, hey, they are worth the money. So like in the beginning, you said, I'm the guy where I put my money where my mouth is. So I have also retired females at 4 years of age because I didn't like what was going on with the female. So if my goal was to just produce and just be mediocre, which is one of my fear, I never want to be mediocre. But if I just wanted to do that, I can do it every day. I have puppies. I could have puppies every freaking month. But that's just not the plan. The plan is to keep producing healthier puppy, and only this way we would be able to improve the breed in general everywhere, and not just at TRK. Because if our client is in New York or like Denver or wherever, they want to breed, they know where the lineage is coming from. We drop over 100K just in dogs to build our lineage. And that's why when you pay, like I tell people that, hey, you get what you pay for. And a lot of time it's like not my lineage. It's like, hey, you're also getting my support.
Right. The interesting part is, right. The interesting part is, man, is that a lot of people, I'm not going to say all, because it ain't no such thing as all and everything. A lot of people see what me and you do. First of all, they consider me a breeder, even though I don't have no females, right? But I'm a breeder. You're a breeder. You have females. And a lot of people see the 30-second aspects of it. They see the 30-minute aspects of it.
Yeah.
But they don't see the sleepless nights, the medical bills, cleaning up dog shit 2, sometimes 3 times a day, the constant washing down the kennels every day, the constant upkeep. And listen, our life revolves around the dogs. The dogs don't revolve around us. So when we go out of town, or your case, in my case, if we want to go out the country, woo, we got to plan.
It's a big thing, dude. That's why I always tell, like, I'm always home. Why? Because of the freaking dogs. So like you just said, our life revolves around dogs. That's something we chose to do, right? Nobody asked us to do it. Nobody forced us to do it. That's the love for this breed. For me, the Rottweilers, for you, Doberman and Rottweiler, and that's something we chose to do. So, and that's why we're here. So I don't care what other people say and think and this and that, and dude, I've been there. I've done all the partying, traveling, everything. Now it's just dogs, man. It's
Right,
just
right.
dogs. Yeah. So yeah, I'm super happy what we're doing with our program. We have great stuff coming up. Next 2 breedings that we just did 2 breedings this month with some of the top, my boy Gonzo and Ultima, and of course the special boy Gunner and Gianna. Those 4 were bred, and I am staying positive and hope both bitches took. But we'll see. We'll find out, one mid-January and the other one end of January to see where we're at. And guess what? Gunner and Gianna, it's already sold.
Wow. So, and what's interesting is that you do live covers with your own dogs. You don't do the TCI. All your females, they know the dog, so them letting them mount them don't be an issue unless they're not ready, right? The female
unless they're not ready. And plus, our studs are studs, man. They know what they're doing, bro. Trust me.
You know what's crazy? I had a couple of my dogs, and I go back to Alonzo because he's really the trailblaze for me, right? A couple of my dogs, and I hate to say this, people, so take it with understanding of animals. My boy Alonzo was a rapist. It was like he was nonstop. If a female's choppy with him, he was like, I don't care. You can get mad all you want to. I'm getting this, right? And to me, that is the type of attitude I want my studs to have, because I've had studs that a female, even though she's ovulating, her numbers are up, and if she snapped at them one time, I don't want no more. So now we got a problem.
Yeah, that's the stud I don't like. I don't like that kind of stud. Like all 3 of our studs, Hugo, Gonzo, Gunner, they understand the assignment. They know what to do. Boom, boom, like super quick, super fast, done and dusted. And Gunner, I had some problem in the beginning, very, very beginning. I would say about 2 years ago with Hugo. Which she was taking too long, and also with with Gonzo. So I was kind of concerned that, okay, Gunner is going to have a same problem, but no way. He was fast, he was on point, and bam, it was done.
You know what's crazy is, and we could talk about this because this is it's about valley fever, but it's still about dogs. One of my males, Casanova, he plays around with the female too much. And I'm like, nah, dog, stick to the mission. Get on top of that ass, so we can, so we can tie them together. And I usually use breeding stands, right? But now I've been doing TCI and AI because unless the female been tested for Brucella or whatever, my boys they're not sticking strange dogs. It's just not happening. That's like a dog. That's like we doing it without a condom with a female we don't know. That ain't happening, especially in today's world. So for me, it was like some of my males never needed a teaser, but Casanova needs a teaser. So we go to the vet and we tell the dude or the woman to bring her dog that's in heat to come there. And he acts like he's doing his thing. But in hindsight, she's really got the plastic bag back there getting all the collection.
The collection. Yeah.
The collection.
I like natural. But again, if I don't know the female, I want the test results. I want to see recent test result. But at the same time, I don't really allow my studs to go elsewhere anyway. A lot of breeders they don't want to pay TRK's price, which is fine because my studs, I know what they're producing, I know what they are. So they're not cheap.
Yeah, and you know what? It's like this. If they want to pay, they'll pay, because I know a lot of people out there that will spend, and people don't get mad at me when I talk about Frenchies, because you guys have changed. You made those motherfuckers monkeys and chimpanzees mixed together. But there's a lot of people that spend $7 grand, 10 grand, 20 grand, 30 grand on one dog. You can't breed naturally. They can't give birth naturally. They're going to have physical ailments from day one because they can't breathe, they can't walk right. But then you can't pay my stud fee, which is a
Yeah.
$3,000, $4,000, $5,000 if that's the case, you
Mhm.
know. So
Yeah.
listen, I know what I got, you know what you got, and it's not up to us to prove to them. If they're following us, they know what we got.
Exactly.
Yeah,
Exactly.
So no,
So
I'm
that's what I say. Everyone, like, I don't really do no discounts or no nothing. You will never ever see me with like puppy raffle. I don't really understand how the hell you're
dude,
doing
I don't
that.
understand that shit, man. We can talk about
I
that
don't
right now.
It's
You know-
it's just mind-boggling to me. I don't know how people do it and how you're able to do it. It just doesn't make sense to me. Nothing is free for in my life, and then you get what you pay for. Simple as that. You pay shit price. You get shit product.
You know what's interesting about that, man? And me and a breeder, me and her, we've been talking about this raffle shit, man. And I don't get you. You are raffling a living, breathing creature. Like, what is a giveaway? You give away cars, you give away money, you give away tangible objects, but you don't give away something that is living and breathing, because if you got it free, you ain't gonna treat the motherfucker right anyway. It's free.
Exactly.
Oh yeah, I paid $30 for a ticket to get
Exactly. Yeah.
a 100% European dog, but I don't know shit about the dog, but $50, not a bad deal. I don't like that, man. That's almost like these guys on YouTube now. I'm not saying their names, but they raffling their cars. Like it's like they're getting these cars and they building these cars up, adding all this on it, adding all it, and now they realize they want to get rid of it. But they had these raffles, and then they extend the raffles an extra 2 or 3 because they didn't hit their target number. That's what that fucking shit is, man. It's a scam.
It's crazy. Like, why would you? And then another thing that, hey, I'm giving you stud credit, or like, tap in for like fucking cheap. I'm like, there is zero discount here at TRK. Period. That's just how it is. I don't discount in my service, in my product, in the quality. Why would I be discounting the price? Simple as that. Someone says you don't know where the dog will there we go. You give up the cheap ass free dog. You don't even know where the dog will go. So
exactly. That's a good point. That's a good point. Because see, most breeders like you and breeders that I know that are responsible, like Rocky Mountain Dobermans, and other Dobermans, Battle-born Dobermans. These people make you fill out a fucking application, man. Like motherfucker, if it's that important to you, you're gonna fill that application out. When you go down there to buy you a car, you filling that credit app out from top to bottom, and you're gonna sign that son of a bitch, right?
100%.
Yeah, so for me,
I don't receive. I have right now. I have about. I cleared some out as of 2 days ago, because of course I've been busy with hospitals and stuff. Like you were complaining, I wasn't responding to your message fast enough. So, I have about 50 plus on TikTok, just inquiries. They'll never get my response because I don't respond to how much. I have some on Instagram, but I always tell people that if you want me to respond, you gotta fill out the application, because that shows me that you're serious, and that gives me some groundwork that, okay, I can understand whom I'm gonna talk to. And then we do a phone screen, and if you pass my phone screen, which I expect you to drill me also, right, do your research. And once the phone screen is done, only then after that we move on to the next step, where you can reserve a puppy. That's
where we go. Where, like in the Bible, it says that we are the keepers of the beast, right? So we are responsible for every living thing on this planet. Mankind is responsible for the land, the sea, and the air. We control order on this planet, right? So when a person really wants a quality, well-bred dog, you're going to do the necessary research, but you're also going to do the necessary steps to reach that person you're trying to reach. If you just want to text me with these two thumbs and WhatsApp or via Instagram, I'm not dealing with that, because I get too many of those bullshit messages, and then you click on their page, 0 posts, have no followers, no profile picture. I said, these are Gigabyte gangsters, man. I ain't got time to wait. If you really want to know, you're gonna put your name on it. I have a website, right? And I have a website like you, and you go in there, you fill out an inquiry. If you want a stud service, you fill out an inquiry. If you want puppy information, you have to fill out the inquiry submission. And it's very simple. It has blocks in them. So to get to us, it'll come to our email. We will respond. And that's showing me you have some interest. You know, it beguiles me, man, that raffle shit really kind of fucked me up, because we go in there now. We go in there now. It's like
it's just unreliable, man. And Wayne Flake Cali up. Wayne is one of our recent customer. They got one of our female. So appreciate every customer's business, everyone. But you know, I just don't understand the raffle. I don't understand the discount on your stud credit and all that stuff. I just don't get it. I don't know. You know, I didn't breed Hugo until he was over 2.5 years old, right? First time. I had the female. I had the option, but I didn't breed because I didn't care. I mean, if I wanted, did I get inquiries for, like, you know, if I wanted, I could have bred for like freaking what do you call it? $500 and all that stuff. So that's it's just that and you know, a lot of people think that they know everything, but they don't. You know, that's why I say that, hey, there are do your research. There are so many good breeders out there. Also, there are a lot of piece of shit out there. You know, so do your research and go to the right breeding program, the breeder that is contributing for the betterment of the breed. And if you don't want to buy from me, which again, not everybody's is for me, I'm not for everybody, which is fine, but do your research and go find that right breeder near you or far from you. And I'm sure there are a lot of breeders out there that doing the health test, that doing the right thing. You know, maybe they're not doing as big as we are. You know, they don't have as big facility as we are, which is okay. You know, it's fine. But how are they keeping the dog? You know, are they raising the dog, you know, garage? That's the question you got to ask.
Fucking garage. Yeah, I got a friend of mine who's turned his. I got a friend who turned his garage into a kennel. I'm like, damn, dog. It's like, and the garage doesn't have anywhere you can just run the water out, because you know it's seeping through the garage. You don't have a subterranean area where it can flow and wash out. It's fucking bananas, man. Because to me, it's like, a real good breeder is not a procrastinator. And I'm gonna say this, because what we're gonna learn nowadays, I'm gonna put this up there, the Dunning-Kruger effect. So let me tell you what that is. You get one person who learns one or two things about something, whether it's the dog or breeding, and he acts like an expert. That is called the Dunning-Kruger effect.
Repeat that again.
The Dunning-Kruger effect is basically when somebody learns one or two things about a topic or about anything, and now they act like they're experts at it. The Dunning-Kruger effect. Google
Yeah.
that, people.
Yeah, and then a lot of keyboard warriors, you know, they have
Rolling Rollins.
they've never had a litter in their whole life. They will never have a litter in their whole life. They don't know A to B what goes into a breeding program and what it takes to have and to run a breeding program, not just to build one, to run a breeding program. But they will suggest things as if they have done it for, you know, for years. So I always tell that, hey, nobody's stopping you to do it. If you want to do it, learn it and do it. But the thing is, I know you're not going to do it.
That's true. It's funny, man, because so I had a lot of people have gotten into the Roddy game,
Mm.
the Frenchie game, the Doberman game because of the love of money. Had nothing to do with the breed of the dog, bro. They could be fucking Dalmatians. If fucking Dalmatians are running 10 grand a pup now, people are going to jump on it. And a true breeder of a specific breed is not going to jump ship. He's not going to say he's an expert at both. You know,
Yeah.
I have a Roddy. I'll always love Roddies, but I'm not going to have 4 and 5 Roddies like I got 4 Adobies.
Mm-hmm.
You know, I could have got what I really wanted, to be honest with you, was a miniature Schnauzer as a, you know what I'm saying? Or a Cocker Spaniel, you know, something small, but, you know, lovable. I'm like, fuck that. I'm get a Roddy. Cause they got some Doberman in them too. Right. So, but I never announced myself as a Rottweiler breeder. I did my research on which one I should get for my personality and for what my lifestyle is. But I stick to what I know. I stay in my lane. Right. And unfortunately, you got people out there, man, they're not doing their research, and you got dogs dying from diseases and health issues that they didn't buy from reputable breeders that didn't tell them about it. This game, man, only the strong will survive.
Mm-hmm. Yep. And then if you're willing to take that loss, right?
The L's. Oh my God. You're gonna take more L's.
Those are very, very important. Like you and I talked about, I don't want to drop name here on the breeder that you and I talked about that, hey, you want to start a strong foundation, you got to get rid of A and B, what you got already in your program, you know, means you're starting the program wrong. You're just mumbling and jumbling, and you're just making these freaking scrambled eggs with like all sort of shit in it. You just don't even know how the product's gonna be. The reason why our puppies look same litter after litter after litter, it's because we have the strong foundation. It's because the way we're running our program, and we have taken those L's. We're still taking L's, right? It's just big L. Just now, the hospital bill over $14,000.
Yeah.
You know, so but again, it's part of the process, part of running the business. And then, you know, we were invested emotionally and physically and financially in this program, with my goal to make the breed better in USA. And we're gonna keep doing that. Now we yet to break even, and I'm not even looking for that. What we're focused on is just that, hey, how can we create or produce healthier puppies, healthier than the last litter? Even though it was healthy litter after litter, but still, how can we keep up that, right? And whatever you do, you gotta do it professionally. You do not do it. Don't come across as you're some freaking guy that sits at the corner of the street with a freaking puppy stall, right? On Sunday market somewhere. So don't be that guy. So just how can you separate yourself? But anyways, I'm gonna keep going on for another hour. I don't want to take more time, and I gotta
That's
go.
okay.
Yeah,
I want to say, man.
we'll take a couple of questions if there are. I don't have any visibility on YouTube, bro. If you wanna read any questions, any comments.
Well, a lot of them in comments. It says Cali is very glad we passed the test. Wayne, Wayne Flick?
Wayne Flick is one of our customers. He's one of the board of director at Humane Society too. We're very nice people. All of our clients are nice.
If people don't know how much more info they don't know, it exists to be known.
Do your research and you'll know. Talk to people, reach out, and then once you find people that know what you don't know, appreciate their time. Show them.
Yeah, the other person said I breed German Shepherds. That's pretty cool. And they call us, "What up, dog man?" I'll take that. And one of them was saying, "Hey, you are telling the truth." So yeah, a lot more statements than comments, but I appreciate you, man, giving me the opportunity. I know, listen, you're busy every day, all day. When you got mouths to feed, literally,
yeah,
I know you're always required somewhere. So I want to say thanks for taking the time out to be a part of this podcast and talk about one of the few things that we love dearly. This is the only time we don't mind picking up shit behind this particular subject. You know what I'm saying? Like literally, we're picking up shit. Right? But until then, man, always remember, people, having a dog is a luxury, not a requirement. So be responsible. Take care.
Yeah, bro. Yeah, and then we'll connect. We'll connect offline. And then I gotta share something with you, but we'll connect offline.
Okay, then.
All right. Thank you, everyone, for joining in. Thank you.
All right.